This is because you're homophobic, Nick. That's why.
Dang it! You caught me. Hey everyone, my name's Nick.
And I'm Ray. And today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us, episode 8. And man, oh man, that was good. That was good. It was dark. And not the HBO classic dark where you can't see the screen. It was dark, gritty,
Yeah.
gross, whole ass cannibalism, cults.
Yeah, it kind of caught me off guard how much action and how good this one was. Because while a lot of these episodes have been really good, a lot of them have been really slow in the beginning. And this one was just like, it was going the whole time. It was really, it was a fun episode. And
It really was.
dark.
Immediately, I gotta say, when that dude came on screen, I was like, oh, okay. He's preaching. I hate him.
Yeah, he was giving off like a definite weird vibe, but I honestly wasn't expecting like the extent of how it went.
I wasn't expecting cannibalism.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely expecting. So we'll get there in a second. Let's start off, right? Opens up. Good old boys. Infection's getting bad. And what do you have to use? Penicillin, mold, cool medicine. Awesome. She doesn't have any, so she goes hunting, whatever. Good shot. Gets a deer. And then finds two dudes. And I actually watched this time around a game comparison to show comparison of this episode. And it's pretty much on point. It's pretty much exactly what the game was. Pretty much. I'm going to use pretty much because there's going to be people out there that, you know, nitpicky. But it's pretty much exactly the same.
It wasn't exactly.
Yeah. It was super good. Dialogue was great. Acting was good. You know, boom. And then what's his name? The preacher dude.
James and his buddies David, or is it the other way around?
Yeah. Anyways, just normal stuff. You know, hey, do you have medicine? We'll make a trade, right? Okay. But then, and this is where I immediately just did not trust this guy. It's like, I went from being a teacher to a preacher. I don't like people who preach in shows in a post-apocalyptic era. It never is good, ever. They're always evil. I'm sorry, they always are. So I knew this dude was bad right off the bat. And especially when he was like, do you trust me, James? And James was like, yeah, it's just been a hard 6 months, man. And he's like, I need to know you're with me. It's like, what are they talking about? Are they murdering some shit? Like, what's going on here? They're doing something. I bet you this dude's touching the girls. Some shit weird, right? That's what I was thinking. Turns out he's a cannibal, which is, that's pretty bad.
And also a creep.
Yeah. Oh, horrible. Total creep. Trying to build a life with Ellie. I feel like this dude's like a sex cult leader, you know? Like, he's the dude the Vatican tries to hide.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
straight up.
I mean, all cults devolve into being a sex cult, right? But right off the bat, I honestly I got like a creepy feeling from him. It wasn't great, but I didn't think like, oh, this guy's the worst piece of garbage ever. I was just thinking, you know, especially whenever it was called out, you know, in like the next scene, whenever he's like, hey, one of our people was killed by a guy who was with a girl. I was like, oh yeah, it's just gonna be like they're trying to come after them and get revenge. Cool, that's it. I wasn't expecting like, oh, they're cannibals and he's a rapist and he's beating the people in his cult. I was thinking like, oh yeah, they're on tough times. One of their people died. They're going to try to get revenge, which was a little bit, but it was way worser than that.
Yeah, it was really bad. And poor Ellie, I mean, she gets the medicine, runs off, right? The dude's like, everything happens for a reason. Look, you're here now, you know? And she's like, I'm the fuck out of here. And they start searching for her. And dude, we know, I mean, she knows they're going to try to kill them. And just like the whole scene, the whole way it goes about it, it's just really well done. I mean, she gets knocked off the horse, falls, gets knocked out, wakes up, and then the village is there, but not everybody knows, so it's not like a whole village versus just them two. So I just think it was really, really well done and disgusting. Yeah. Is the best way to put it.
Whenever the guys, because I wasn't expecting Joel to get better so quickly. You know, 2 shots of penicillin and he's pretty much good to go, which was, I think it was a good decision bringing him in as much as they did.
It's a lot of penicillin for one.
Yeah, he was true. I don't know the correct dosage of penicillin.
Just one shot.
It looked like a lot.
I've had penicillin shots. You just get one shot and you're good. That's how it's supposed to go. She gave that one shot. One day goes by, another shot. Yeah, he definitely should not be up and moving about. However, adrenaline and whatnot, you
I'm
know.
I'm fine. I'm fine if they're stretching it to where it's like, oh, he would not actually be up in a day and a half. I'm
Yeah.
fine. It was cool. Because what I was expecting to go down, I was like, oh, Joel's gonna be out for the count, and it's gonna be like Ellie versus 6 dudes, and she's just gonna be this what's the South Park thing? Badass woman.
Oh yeah.
So like just I was just thinking of that, where it's like,
Mhm.
oh, she's gonna like this 14-year-old girl is gonna somehow take on 6 or 7 guys by herself. And it wasn't that. Like she gets captured and she is pretty badass in this
I mean,
episode.
she
But then
almost chopped that
also
dude's head off. Almost. It went
yeah,
halfway
yeah,
through his fucking neck.
yeah. But then Joel's on the other side taking care of some other dudes. It was cool to see both sides of it, and I'm glad that they didn't just leave it all to her.
Yeah.
Because I could have seen them doing that.
I don't know if I would have seen them in the show doing that in this
No,
story, but definitely in a lot of newer shows, yeah.
Mm.
But that's why I like the show. I mean, the show is just more about. It feels more like it feels close to reality. That's what makes the show feel so good to watch.
Yeah.
Because like it's a team thing, right? I mean, Ellie has to fight so Joel can find her, and Joel has to fight so he can find Ellie. They can't just one person do each. I mean,
right.
that's not how it works in real life at all. I mean, not everyone's Chris Kyle.
Might
Not
I say,
everyone is a CIA operative.
yeah. And
know?
whenever Joel was interrogating those 2 guys, my God, you see the freaking killer coming out of him.
Dude, the
Literally.
fucking
But yeah, he
knife
was
on the
dude,
knee, dude.
yeah,
Wow.
he was getting crazy.
He said,
Which
you better tell me
unders-
before I pop your kneecap off. I was
Yeah.
like, is that a thing people do? That's a thing that can be done? Ow.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was the right thing to do, obviously, for his situation, but man, it was pretty aggressive.
Torture's bad.
Yeah, and it's like you gotta kill him,
Most
but
of the
still,
time.
it's like he stabs one of them and then he beats the other one to death with a pipe. Like, geez, you couldn't make it a little bit quicker for him?
Well, these are cannibals. I mean,
Yeah, he didn't know that at the time, though.
yeah, true, but hindsight justifies it.
True. True.
They just did really well with the cult too, like just with the
Yeah.
whole vibe. When that lady's in the kitchen and they come in with a fucking thing of meat, right?
Yeah.
Before they bring the deer in,
Yeah.
and she's like, "What's this?" And he's just like, "Venison."
Yeah.
And it's like they're eating a whole ass person, dude.
See, I didn't even catch on to that. Whenever they brought it in, they said venison. I was like, oh, they're bored of venison. And then they just got a deer, so they're going to have more venison. Like, that
Yeah.
sucks. But, duh. And then the friggin' ear on the floor. And, he convinced me for a second. I was like, oh, yeah. That's why he was, like, being weird at the beginning with that girl whose father died, right? And saying, oh, the ground's too hard. We can't bury him till summer. It's like, oh, yeah. So they were out of necessity forced into cannibalism.
Yeah, not a
Like-
thing. You can definitely bury a body in the winter.
The ground definitely would be super hard. But no,
It would.
yeah.
Also, you can burn them. It's better to get the bodies dealt with so disease doesn't happen.
Yeah, true.
You know.
But I didn't connect it to cannibalism at first. And then
Yeah.
whenever he said that, I was like, oh, yeah, I get that. But then Joel runs into 3 more bodies hanging upside down headless. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. So
Yeah.
it wasn't out of necessity. They're legit just cannibals now. Like,
Well, it may have been out of necessity too, right? So they
Maybe-
didn't have the deer there in time for
Mhm.
that night's meal. They were low on food. So they would probably prefer to eat deer and horse first, and then you get the humans. You know, it's like you make a sacrifice,
Yeah,
essentially,
and-
and that's called cult. That's called cult. You make a sacrifice to the gods, and
And
you
we-
eat him.
true. And we also only hear about one person dying. So, I mean, are they murdering their other cultists to be able to eat them? Or is it like, oh, these are other people who have died previously?
Well, remember,
And it's winter. They're frozen. We're preserving it. It's
in that episode, they only killed one person, right? And then they ran off
Yeah,
on the horse.
yes. Right.
which means the others who went back, they just killed and blamed it on Joel. So yeah, they're murdering people. They said, well, they didn't get the food we needed, so there's our food.
Yeah.
You know?
It was dark.
Yeah,
Like you
super
said.
dark, dude. I was getting pedophile vibes immediately. I just associate. Sorry to any viewers. Sorry. Preacher.
Yeah, I mean,
pedophile.
once he started once he started referring to himself as that girl's father, I was like, yeah, there's some real shady stuff going on, and this is not gonna go well.
Yeah. Don't remember, you still have a father.
Yeah.
That's
Don't worry
me.
about that guy that died. He was your dad. Now I'm your daddy.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, okay. This is nasty.
Let's not say
And then
that.
talking to Ellie the whole time, and he's like, let me protect you, Ellie. Come on. He didn't use her name because he didn't know it at the time. But let me protect you.
Yeah.
And that was pretty funny when he's got her in the cage, and she's like kind of goading him, egging him on, grabs his finger and breaks it.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts, though, was when they get her on the table. They're about to kill her. She's like, I bit you. You're infected. I'm infected. See?
Yeah.
They're like, what? And then they check, and they're like, and he's like, no, dude, she would have turned by now. And he's like,
Yeah.
you, that looks fucking infected, bro.
And then in the confusion, just meat cleaver to the neck. Oh, literally.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
hilarious. Almost beheads the dude.
It's like 100% go Ellie there. But
Yeah.
then, after the whole shebang, after she's able to kill David, rightfully so, she kind of goes a little wild with it, and
Yeah, I mean,
a little wild with it, but
I'm
understandably
fine with it,
so.
yeah.
Understandably so, but she loses definitely self-control there.
I mean, she
It's understandable.
she was nearly raped by this guy.
in a
who-
burning fucking house.
Yeah,
Just tried
chasing
to
her
cut her
around,
Yeah.
burning building, chasing her around with a meat cleaver, trying to rape her, and then had just tried to kill her for cannibalist reasons. Like, yeah, it's all right if you take in a few extra stabs. I get it.
That's
she's real mad.
straight trauma there
Mhm.
happened. Yeah, and then like when she gets out, Joel finds her and she's just in fight or flight still, in complete
Sure.
shock, and it's just like so sad to see.
Yeah.
And what does Joel say?
I don't even remember.
I'm here, baby girl.
Oh yeah.
Being a dad, he's her dad.
Yeah,
Actual.
of course.
Yeah. Not,
Yep. In the last episode, those walls were broken down. They shared in a mutual loving moment where they were both holding each other's hands mutually. The walls were broken down. He's in it now. I said it last episode, I'll say it again. They're now a father-daughter duo. And yeah, it was good. This episode was really good. And I've been complaining a lot about the lack of action, and this one was just a great episode, full of action, great story still going on.
This
It was a good episode.
This episode is so hard for me to like. So it's my favorite episode, followed by episode 3. Both of them are neck and neck, right? And both are complete polar fucking opposites tonality wise. Episode 3 is like this lovey up. What's the word? It's just this loving feeling you get, right? It's this hopeful message, hopeful feeling. This episode was like, here's the worst of fucking humanity shoved in your fucking face, and it's so just uninhibited with its tonal dissonance there, or whatever words you want to use. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm having dementia. My mind's going, but words, right? It's the complete polar opposite of hope there, and it's more like just despair, misery, just human. I tend to gravitate towards dark stories more. I do, which is why this is my favorite episode. But it's not like I'm happy. I'm happy when that happens. I'm just not. It's just good storytelling. I think it's really good storytelling because a lot of people shy away from that.
Yeah.
And it needs to be shared. Like humans, fucking suck, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I liked this episode a lot. I think this one is also my favorite so far. I wouldn't put episode 3 as high as you do, but I mean, whatever.
This is because you're homophobic, Nick. That's why.
Dang it! You caught me.
I just want to point out too, episode 7, least favorite. Episode 3, second favorite. I'm not homophobic. Literally, I just like gay dudes kissing more than gay chicks kissing.
Is that what it is?
Duh.
No, and I think, the past two, episode 7, episode 6, I've had issues with how the endings have gone, just kind of lackluster, especially episode 7. They left out this whole scene I just wish that they would have kept in there, or I wish they would have shown.
That stuff.
And then so it probably made this episode even better for me, to where the whole thing was fantastic. The ending was so great. Have them walking off, into the distance. He's obviously still hurt. And yeah, it was just overall a great episode. My favorite so far in the season. We only have one episode left, so I hope that the next episode can top this one and then just bring a great close to season 1.
I think it will. I'm pretty sure it's also going to align with the end of the game, from what I've read on a Reddit. I might be wrong. Correct us.
Okay.
But I mean, the game has critical acclaim, and no games have that if they have the endings. So
Yeah.
if they can nail the ending here per the game, then I'm super excited to see what happens, what it brings.
Yeah. I don't know the ending of the Last of Us game, the last, either one. I don't know the ending of the game, so I will be surprised either way.
Yeah.
I'm imagining a time jump from, what was it, in episode 5 they did a time jump. I'm imagining another time jump just of a couple months so that Joel can be better again, right? So he's back to full strength before they kind of close it out. I could be wrong there.
I hope there's a super mushroom.
A super mushroom?
Yeah.
Like the one we were hoping for in episode, what was
No.
that, 5 or
Yeah.
4?
And like there's
Whenever-
that big mushroom, but
Yeah.
I want like a
No.
big mushroom.
We're talking like the
DJ
whole-
Khaled big, you know.
DJ
Yeah.
We're talking 30 feet tall, just this gigantic.
I want a 60 meter by 30 meter long, fucking
Wow.
tall ass just toad.
You lost
Goomba.
me. I don't even know how big that is. I don't use that metric system.
It's as big as my
and
With that, Ray, out.
thanks for watching. Hey, Nick here. If you enjoyed this video, please gently caress that like button for us.
And Ray, thanks for watching. It was a blast. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, what me and him are doing. There. Me and him, Nick and Ray. Subscribe.